Alright, welcome back everybody. This is Group C of the round of 16, the Team Liquid Legacy Star League Season 2, and we're going on to set number 2. It's going to be Rams versus G5. Now, both of these players did actually make it to the round of 16 of last season of TLS, where they both actually got knocked out. In fact, Rams, I believe, was in the same group as Skyline in the round of 16 last season. And it did come down to the final match between him and Skyline, which he did barely lose. G5, on the other hand, got really unlucky and was in a group with like Seiki, Technics, and South Park, so that didn't go well for him. Although he did very, very nearly knock Seiki out of the tournament, which was amazing, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Anyway, I'm very eager to see the shape of both of these players. As I said, both of them pulled major upsets. Well, maybe Rams not so much, but Rams, of course, seems to have been inactive for quite a while now, so definitely a bit of an upset, I think, taking his group. Actually, let me have a quick look. Who was in his group again? Oh, yeah, well, also, Bakuryu, True Touch, and Mazor in his group, and he 2-0'd it, so that was definitely a surprise. And G5, probably even more of a surprise, took out a group with Andre, DeWalt, and South Park. Now, to be fair, DeWalt also fairly out of shape. South Park, not great in non-ZVZ matchups. And Andre, again, perhaps not the top tier of Terrans, but still very good play from G5. So really looking forward to see his PVT here. That is his best matchup by far. He is supremely confident in that matchup, let me tell you. So, so let's just go into the game. Okay, so at the top left as the brown Protoss we have G5, and at the top right as the orange Terran we have Rams. Now G5, of course, if you still somehow don't know who he is, his claim to fame is beating Boxer at WCG. I believe he also beat some other Korean at the WCG, but I can't remember who. G5, of course, historically had superb PBT. Known for doing bulldog attacks, which is where when the Terran fast expands, you go 2-gate, get a quick robo, and go Master Goons, plus a shuttle with 4 Zealots, and you just bust the front. It's pretty cool to watch, pretty cool to play, very annoying if you're a Terran. He also does fast probe scouts. Yep, there is our fast pylon scout from G5. He does this every game, seemingly every matchup as well. I really want to find out why he does this, but I have yet to have a chance to ask him. Maybe if he wins the group or something and he does a winner's interview, I'll make sure Epoxide or no, not Epoxide. Wait, is it Epoxide? Who interviews him? I can't even remember who does interviews anymore. But so whoever does the interview, I'll make sure they ask about this pylon scout, because it is quite early for a PvT. Like if you're on a 2-player map and you do that, it usually means you're like gas stealing or something. But yeah, on a 4-player map, it's a bit. In my opinion, it's not optimal, but you know, maybe that's just his style. He's just going to get in here pretty quickly, so he's actually fast enough to do a gas steal if he wants. And does he want to? He does want to. Now, of course, this is a 4-player map. This is just pure luck that he's able to do this. In fact, I'm curious about why he scouted horizontally. I would assume that most people would scout vertically. As we saw last game, Skyline and Terra both scouted vertically first. It doesn't make a huge difference, but the symmetry of the map means that I would expect a vertical scout. But it doesn't really matter. And, of course, it did work out nicely for G5 here. So, oh no, but he's gonna do the cancel thing. I don't like this at all. I think this is bad. I think it's very bad. He did this, I think, against Andre as well, in his round of 24 group, where he just, like, built and canceled the assimilator 3 times or something, and did never let it finish. And I don't really understand why, because traditionally you always just build it once, and, well, you can build it more than once, but you let it finish. And by canceling and rebuilding like this, you're losing minerals every time, right? If he does this 4 times, I think he's already lost, or maybe 3 times. Do you get back do you lose a third of the minerals, or is it a quarter? I can't quite remember, but if he does it 3 or 4 times, he's already lost the full cost of the assimilator, so you might as well just let it finish. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to cancel this now. And I really am not convinced that this is worth it. Of course, the gas is delayed by Ram, so his timing will be pretty bonkers. But that did cost G5 quite a bit. Now, he's going for a 2-gate follow-up. He does seem to love 2-gate openings. I like them as well, so that's all good. And look at this. Ram's actually, in response, has gone for a quite defensive block here, which is good because he's going to be facing a Zealot that's going to do absolutely nothing. So G5 should just wander on home there. Looks like his probe did survive as well, so I guess that's good. And what's the follow-up going to be? Is it going to be a Robo? Now the one good thing about Gas Steal is it generally does actually force your opponent to go for a quicker expand because they have all the excess minerals. So the main response to an Assimilator, I think, is to go just 1 Rax expand, which is a completely legitimate build order on its own. Or you can just pull SCVs to kill it and go for like slightly delayed gas and follow your normal game plan anyway. And of course there is the occasional 1% of games where you just go like mass barracks and try and kill them. But of course that's pretty unreliable, so it's pretty rare to see that. In the meantime, G5 does... Okay, he's gonna make two more goons first. And I'll be interested to see what happens after this. You can stop now and just save up for a Nexus after these two. You can make 2 more and then make a Nexus, or you can get a Robo. All depending on how you feel. So we do see a pretty quick expansion here. As I said, it's sort of a 1-Rax expand. I actually didn't notice exactly when he built this factory. He did get the gas, I think, before the command center, so it's not exactly a 1-Rax expand, but it's sort of like in between a 1-Rax expand and an FD is sort of what he's done here. Presumably just in response to getting gas stolen. And in fact, we are going to see G5 take the Nexus after just the next 2 goons. So he has 3 Dragoons in total, plus the Zealot. He didn't make the 4th and 5th, he just went straight for the Nexus, and that's completely fine. So he's going to put on a little bit of Dragoon pressure here, but he knows, or rather, he's not going to go for any kind of crazy all-in, and he knows that making a couple more goons most likely won't be able to kill the Terrans outright, so he's just going to expand. In fact, he's going to double expand here. Now, this is a build I actually used to do all the time on ladder, 2-gate power goon into double expand. It is fairly vulnerable to a lot of mid-game timings from the Terran. Even a simple 2-fact push, if well executed, can actually just do some severe damage to the Corrals. You gotta make sure you keep preparing that though. 4 SCPs will stop 3 Dragoons, but if it starts burning, it's a little bit more questionable. But it looks like it's still fine. Anyway, yeah, so here's a double expand from G5. Now, notice his Robo is very late, so he's going to have very late observers. It's going to put him in the dark about what Rams is doing. And, of course, that's also going to make him vulnerable to Vultures and Spider Mines and all that nasty stuff that the Terran can pull out. So he's got to be aware of that. Now, what is the follow-up here from Rams? I don't think Rams knows about the fast 3rd Nexus, but if he does scout it at some point, good options would be maybe some Vulture drops or just otherwise fancy Vulture harass to take advantage of the slow observers, or just go for some kind of early aggression on just a couple of factories. Now his factories, of course, were slightly delayed. So he's not actually going to have that many units yet. But as we can see, G5 isn't either. He might lose a Zealot here. No, not quite. It looks like Ram's not actually committing, just going to poke a little bit. But you can see G5 is severely cutting units. He hasn't actually made any units apart from these 4 yet. He's completely cut Dragoons in order to get the Robo and additional gateways. He is so vulnerable right now, and man, oh god, this is like exactly how I used to play, and this is so risky and so punishable. Like, if you try and do this on Fish, you will just get completely stomped by so many Terrans. I mean, what he's doing is just so absolutely risky. He's basically praying. He's like, I really, really hope my opponent doesn't attack me in the next 3 minutes, or 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. And if Rams doesn't, then G5 will be miles ahead, because he'll have fast 3 bases, he'll have the infrastructure already, he'll be able to pump out units really, really fast, and he'll be completely fine. If Rams does attack in the next 3 minutes, well, he will have literally 4 units, so that will end badly. Now, fortunately for G5, well, actually, I'm not sure, is this fortunate or not? So Rams has gone for a 5-act here. Now that is going to be slightly delayed, and the gateways are already finished for G5. So if G5 actually just keeps on top of the production now and just makes sure he you know, gets all those Dragoons and Zealots and whatnot out, and maybe gets a shuttle as well for some Zealot bombs, I think he might be okay in holding this. Because I think the 5-fact might be a little bit too late. You can see the third has already been mining for a little while now. You know, he's starting now. He's resumed Dragoon production. Again, he's going to have a 6K pump fairly soon here against the 5-factory production of his opponent. Now, he's going to start at a slight unit deficit, but I think he should be able to catch up fairly soon. The other slight problem here is, of course, that he has no Citadel, and that's completely understandable. He had to cut something. So he got his Robo, he got his third base, he got his gateways, but the thing he had to cut was the Citadel. He's not going to have that for a little while now, so he's not really going to have speed, most likely, in time to help with this attack. But he does see it now. He sees the 5-fact, so he knows what's coming. He is now getting the Citadel. That's, again, going to be a little ways off, although speed actually does research fairly quickly as far as upgrades go. But again, it's very unlikely it'll be in time to help against this. He will just have to make a shuttle for some Zealots if he wants to do that. But you can see he's actually got a lot of minerals incoming, so he's really got to keep on top of that production. If he does keep up on the production, he should be fine against this. Especially if he can make use of these high ground ridges. As you can see, he's just going to poke around here, try and get a few free kills here and there. Looks like the Zealot has bitten the dust, and the Goons are going to have to pull back a little bit, but he is delaying this very, very well. And you can see just constantly spamming out those Goons. Now going to add on some more Zealots, but again, these are going to be slow lots. He is hopefully going to get speed straight away. He's got a couple additional gateways. There's a few Vultures, though, that are sneaking around the side. The third base, he's actually walled it off on the high ground instead of on the low ground. That's interesting. But, oh, this wall isn't finished. This wall's not finished. It's not finished. Oh, it's not quite finished. And now the probes are going to be a little bit vulnerable. Unfortunately, he does have Dragoons nearby, and actually, by Rams is focusing on doing the micro here, so he's not actually moving out with the main force here. It doesn't look like there's an obs here just yet, so really got to be careful with these probes coming back, not to blow them up. Oh man, that was so risky. Oh my god, he's got to be so careful about these mines. That is unbelievably dangerous. But it looks like it is going to be fine. And Rams doesn't seem to be committing to this attack. He's just sending out small groups of Vultures. I don't know if he's just going to go for a delayed timing after he's done a little bit of harassment. Maybe he's just trying to pull these Dragoons out of position because he doesn't want to move onto the high ground with them there. And they are moving out of position now. But by that time, I think it'll be too late because as you can see, speed is on the way. So now speed actually will be in time. You know, we've got 8 gateways already. And, you know, 3 bases are still mining away happily. And there's no sign of a third base from Rams, so I'm a little bit confused now by what his game plan is. And you can see he's 114 against 131, a little bit behind in supply. That's still okay for TVP. But this is not looking great for him. He looks like he's just going to try and play the Vulture for us game. I mean, is he making a third command center? He's not making a third command center. Of course, a third base on this map is relatively difficult to take. You can't just get a nice defended third like you can on Fighting Spirit. So you can't do like that turtley 3-base style. But you know, given that he is Vulture harassing so much and keeping the Protoss army back, I really feel like he should just you know, go for the third base at 3 o'clock. I mean, if you look on the minimap, there's basically no units that are like away from the Protoss base anymore. I mean, that's the whole point of the Vulture harass, sort of. Well, not the whole point, but that's a major factor of the Vulture harass. This looks off place, by the way. Should be. I think the Nexus can still be built. And yeah, so Rams, is this just like a really delayed all-in? Oh my god, it is just a really delayed all-in. He's getting a armory. Oh no, I'm sorry. Excuse me, he got a third command center. I just didn't notice it at all. Okay, he's gone for the 12 o'clock. Okay, I was gonna say it really would make very little sense for him to still be on 2 base, getting an armory and 2 additional factories. The armory in particular, it's like, you know, going all in but getting an upgrade. No, that wouldn't make any sense. I feel like this is a bit late though. It's a little bit late, and I don't know if G5's going to let him have it. However, Rams is going to get this nice high ground position. He needs to lay a few more mines here, and without any shuttles or arbiters or anything like that, it's a little bit difficult for G5 to do anything about this. G5, as you can see, playing a very gateway unit heavy style, just mass Zealot Dragoon. No tech yet, no Templar tech, no Stargate, nothing, just pure gateway spam. But he's going to have to do something here. It looks like he's just going to try and bust this. He's not taking a 4th base. He's just, you know, keeps walling in this 3rd. Sending a few goons to help out now. But yeah, he definitely looks like he's going to bust this. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't actually made shuttles, though. Oh, there's the double shuttle on the way. Looks like, but that's going to be a little bit slow. If you wait for the 2nd shuttle, he'll probably be maxed already by that point. I mean, that's fine, I guess. But it gives the Terran a little bit more time to set up a good position. And it looks like G5 is clearing out some units up here at the 4th, but you know, relative to the Terran's 3rd, that is going to be, well, I guess not that late. You know, the Terran 3rd did only just start mining, so, and it looks like he might actually double expand now, considering he's almost max anyway, which is actually fine. So maybe I'm getting a little bit too over eager. I don't know, maybe a little bit too scared. And G5 is actually fine. And also we have to consider how far ahead he was getting that super fast 3rd base. So economically he was already ahead. So even if his 4th base isn't super fast, I think that's absolutely fine. Oh, he might go for some cool mine bombs here. He's going for the mine bombs, and oh, gets a couple of good ones off. Not brilliant, but decent. And there is, of course, a double expand. There's a scan in the main. Doesn't really see anything too interesting. I think G5 might want to get a few more gateways now as well, perhaps, especially with these bases about to come online. Some more bullet pass here from Rams. But again, not going to do too much. Oh, getting completely caught here by the goons and still managing to escape. Speed vultures are slippery buggers. But G5 loading up another shuttle. This is going to go for some more bombs here. He's not actually using it in conjunction with his army, or is he? Is he actually going to go with the army this time? No, he's not. He's just going to continue to try and do more really efficient bombs. But there's the big unsiege. Oh, he can go now though. Oh! Forcing the unsiege. I did not see this one coming. Oh my goodness. Big mine bomb on the front. And Rams making a huge mistake there. In order not to get zealot bombs, he unsieged every single siege tank and let G5 just run right up to him. Unfortunately, G5 looks like he's trying to move through instead of a move, which, you know, is a good idea to get closer to the tanks, but it looks like his goons were bugging out and not actually moving forward enough. So G5 actually taking a lot of extra shots there without doing any damage himself, and looks like is going to be pushed back, surprisingly. Despite getting that amazing timing off, was not able to win that battle, but he does now have the bottom left 2 bases. If he sends some probes over there, he will start mining. Looks like he is now transferring some probes over, from all of his bases, so he's going to be good to go. But does he have more gateways? He really wants more gateways. He's now finally getting some Templar tag, of course, to make use of that 3,000 gas that he has banked, but Rams, meanwhile, is getting the 3 o'clock, though. So, I don't know. It looks like G5 is going to continue contesting this north position, but maybe it might be better to send some units around the south side. I mean, we can see that it's not defended, but I guess he doesn't know that. But at the very least, I would have liked him to have an observer there. It looks like he has an observer nearby, but really needs to be spotting that 3 o'clock base and seeing that there's nothing there to defend it. Meanwhile, though, he does not have the probes working at these bases. Maybe should start adding the gateways here at the bottom left main instead of his actual main. As you know, you generally do in late game PvT. But actually, if I look at the supply, oh my goodness, G5 actually is not really macroing very well at all. He's only at 133 and Rams at 174. So again, this is the problem of the gateway count. It looks like he didn't actually even have that much money banked anyway. He was really banking on a much bigger victory in that first attack, you know, without any tech, just going for it with the shuttles and the zealots. And it didn't quite work out for him. Meanwhile, Starport now, actually Rams' tech is not particularly far along either. Both players, or rather Rams is 1-0. G5 did have 2 forges upgrading earlier. I would have thought he had 1-1 by now, but it looks like not. And he's going to move in again with a decent position, but again, just not nearly enough units to deal with what Rams has here. So Rams forcing G5 back, and he's soon going to have control of this ridge, high ground ridge, right outside G5's base, and that's going to cut off supplies from the main, cut off reinforcements from the main. Looks like emergency DTs are now being queued up for G5. He does actually have those 2 forges. Does he have 1-1 now? Okay, he finally has 1-1 against the 1-0 of Rams, but he is feeling some serious pressure now, moving most of his army, or what's left of it, onto the southern ridge, so that at least he won't get completely trapped. But oh man, here we go, sieging up in the main base here. The emergency DTs, where are they? They need to come out ASAPly. They need to do a ton of damage as well, because G5 is still 35 supply behind. 140 against 175 here. He's just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Or is he going to go counterattack? It looks like G5 has decided to counterattack with the army that's out on the map. The DTs getting a couple of kills, but not very much at all. A quick scan from Rams does take care of that, but it looks like a triple DT drop is going to go off on top of the tanks here while G5 goes for the counterattack with his Dragoon army. How fast will Rams notice? It looks like Rams. Oh my god, G5 is not paying attention though. What is he doing? Where's he going? Oh my god, 7 HP left on that shuttle. That almost died with 3 DTs in it. That would be horrible if that had died, but here is the counterattack by G5. There is a tank, though, and a bunch of mines defending, but it looks like if the goons are running around the top, no, the goons are bugging out a little bit. They can't figure out how to get down this narrow ramp. Meanwhile, it looks like G5, oh no! G5, he loses the shuttle after only dropping a single DT that gets immediately sniped off. So G5 is losing the 9 o'clock. The main base is alive, but he's got very little there to do anything, although he's doing a nice counterattack here at the 3 o'clock. I wonder if he counterattacks at the 12 o'clock with the army that's in a main. That might work, but look at the supplies of 185 for Rams against just 134 for G5. This is not working out well at all. It's like Rams getting a little bit stuck in the base there, but now it's going on here. I mean, and look at how quickly Rams is taking out these bases. He's not dilly-dallying around, you know, outside the main. He's not doing the slow siege up and move. He's just going, you know, base by base, methodically wiping out the Protoss expansions here. Didn't even bother to kill that Nexus, just killed all the probes, and that was that. And here he goes down to the bottom left. There's nothing here, no gateway to build emergency Dark Templars, nothing there. But looks like some Zealots have randomly run into the 12 o'clock now. So Rams actually is not even mining. He's lost the 3 o'clock. Actually, he is still barely mining from his natural, but this will be gone in about 30 seconds time. So once that's gone, he won't actually be mining because he's not mining for the 12. He's lost the 3. Although it looks like he is going to clean it up fairly easily. G5 does have some more units finally coming out of his main base. He did re-rally everything into his main, but look at this. G5 has actually lost a lot more than Rams has, and he's also like at half the supply. Rams up basically max. G5 not even at 100 supply, and this is not looking good for G5 at all. He's going to try and do what he can with the remainder of his army, but that's not going to work well. He's even distance mining here, and it looks like bringing back the main force here. Gonna deal with that. No chance for G5. Gonna probably finish off this Nexus as well. And I expect a GG shortly here from G5. It was well fought by him, but just couldn't quite pull it off. And the Nexus will fall to a Vulture? That's not very nice. Oh, it's not gonna fall to a Vulture yet. And done. So G5 is now left with just his main Nexus, essentially. So he's now distance mining. Oh, there's another counterattack from G5. He's not giving up yet. He's persisting. He's one of the old generation, the old guard here. So he's gonna stay in the game a little bit longer, as they are wont to do. And he's actually gonna catch a bunch of these tanks on siege. Unfortunately, as we can see here, Terran is completely imbalanced, and they can still A-move and kill Protoss. So I don't think that's very fair, but you know, it is what it is. That is going to be that. G5 losing the last of his units. He's down to 40 supply against 170. Oh, man. Even going to lose these last couple of retreating goons. How cruel this world is. So he's now got 30 supply. He's distance mining from a natural that is actually almost mined out anyway. And at least he's got a pylon wall. I guess that's pretty good. By the way, is the chat broken or something? Because I haven't seen anyone chat for like the entire game. Like I came back from commercial and then like nobody said anything. It's pretty weird. Oh, he's made 2 carriers. Oh, he's gonna win with 2 okay. I guess that's why I didn't leave the game, because, you know, he's got a carrier. Let's see if the 1 carrier can kill enough units before he gets eliminated. That would be amusing. Oh, he's got 2 now. They don't have interceptors, or they don't have that many interceptors. Oh, he's got 3. Still making interceptors. Still making interceptors. Still making interceptors. So the chat is actually broken for me. That's very sad. I'm quite sad about this. I'm all alone now. Everybody send me nice PMs on TL. GG! Rams takes out G5 in the second set and will go on to play against Terror in the winners match. Alright, so Rams, once again, he could pull the upset in 2 of his group. I don't actually know if it's an upset anymore because he showed pretty good form last round, and you know, he's showing pretty decent form this round as well. Or I guess in just the 1 game we've seen so far. So very excited to see what he can do against Terror. It will now be best of 3s, with the maps being Wind and Cloud, Outsider, and Fighting Spirit in that order. So yeah, hoping for some PvT goodness here. Actually, we're gonna have at least 2 more PvTs here. So the losers match between Skyline and G5 will be another PvT, and then depending on the final match, we'll see what happens there. Either a PvT or a TvT, depending on the players. So, gonna go to a quick commercial break and be back for the winners match.